Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA is back March 2nd, Orlando, Florida, Kia Center. Live for free on YouTube, Game Bred Bare Knuckle MMA. We got the heavyweights, Alan Belcher, former UFC fighter turned bare knuckle boxing champion against the legend Junior Dos Santos. Let's start there. Tell me about this fight.
Well, this fight's a long time in the making, my brother. We started sitting down maybe some time ago, about 8 months ago, and looking at our roster and seeing who do we have signed at what weights, where are we deepest at, and straight out by coincidence at heavyweights where we had the most standouts, where we had the most depth in the weight class. So we started going further into it. A lot of guys at the time, some of these guys that are actually competing weren't free agents. They were signed to other promotions. They were signed to other things. Guys were coming off injuries. So it wasn't looking like our heavyweight tournament was going to happen at some point. And it was very frustrating. And then after fucking harassing JDS, I don't know how many months, and shoving him into locker rooms and fucking taking cheap shots at him when I see him at the gym, he tells me, "Hey, Masvidal, I'm a free agent, man." And I go, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, bro, I'm a free agent. I want to fucking come fight bare knuckle. What's up?" And I go, "You're fucking kidding me. You're a free agent and you could go?" He's like, "Yeah, I just got the word. What's up? What do you want to do?" All right, hell yeah. So this was after practice, and then we just stayed there talking for some time. And then I go to check my phone, and my business partner, Dean Toole, matchmaker, has called me a couple times. And I call him back and I go, "What's up, bro?" And he goes, "Bro, you won't believe whose manager I just talked to." And they're a fucking free agent. I go, "Who?" He goes, "Man, I was just talking to Ali. He says Verdum's a free agent and he wants to come fight for your organization, bare knuckle." I go, "No fucking way." Because you won't believe who I just talked to an hour ago. Junior Dos Santos says he's a fucking free agent. So as soon as that happens, we know that we're going to go 100% full blast on this heavyweight tournament. We basically did something a little different than other tournaments probably do. We put the number 1 and number 2 seed against each other because right off rip, we wanted to find out who's the fucking best of the best, No coincidence or none. So we put JDS versus Verdum. We put Roy Nelson and Alan Belcher against each other, and we said the winners will win and meet up at the top. So now we got Alan Belcher versus Junior Dos Santos going down for the first heavyweight championship bare knuckle in Game Bred Bare Knuckle. In the co-main event, we got Alex Nicholson, which is no stranger to fucking knocking people dead, against Chase Sherman, another guy that does not fucking mind getting hit to fucking leave a guy dead. So these two guys are guys that I know personally rather well, and fuck man, those guys come to fight. So our co-main event is insane. Might be a title challenger from there. Whoever wins the fight in what type of fashion might be challenging for the title, or could be fighting Roy Nelson for a #1 contendership spot. We don't know exactly yet what we're gonna do. But we got some big fights, man. Like the March 2nd is nothing but violence. Every fucking fight that we have on there is one of those fights that could be fight of the night. So as a promoter, when I put these cards together, I just want everybody leaving saying, I don't know which one was fight of the night. I don't know what my favorite fight was because we're all so damn bloody, violent, and fucking evenly matched, and guys just getting after it. So that's my job.
All right, so this is MMA, but Alan Belcher, bare knuckle boxing champion. People don't know, but when he transitioned to bare knuckle boxing heavyweight, he's undefeated in bare knuckle boxing, right? And Junior Dos
And bare
Santos.
knuckle period. He's got
Oh
one
yeah, he beat Roy Nelson.
Yeah, and he's I think I want to say he's 9-0 in bare knuckle, which definitely has to give him a lot of edges against JDS. It's only had one bare knuckle fight.
But yeah, but this is the MMA fight. But we're gonna expect these guys to go. The expectation is they're gonna go at it, right?
I think that JDS, I'm not in American Top Team right now, and I never like to talk to any fighters or their camps and strategy stuff like that because the less I know, obviously the better. But this is just from my mind, from what I'm thinking, that JDS is probably going to use his size, his reach, his distance, and just maybe keep the fight outside. As Belcher, especially in the heavyweight boxing, we see that he finds a way to get in without getting hurt or touched, and then he fucking just lets the dog loose. He gets in and he fucking bites and bites and bites, and then he gets back out without taking any abuse, and he gets back in and he fucking finds a way to fucking get small and then just dig and dig. So I think at one point, because I know both of them and I know their attitudes and they're both competitive guys, at one point they're just going to meet in the middle and fucking throw down, bro. And all that's going to go out the window, and these guys are going to fucking just hurt each other, obviously with the skill and technique that they've always had and possessed. But I think this is gonna be one of the best fucking fights ever. And Alan Belcher's ways of winning, I don't see it as an outside, as a JDS is considerably bigger, longer arms. I think he's gonna have to get inside. JDS is not a stranger to fighting inside. These guys are gonna put on one of those fights. It's like fight of the year, fight of the century type shit, man.
All right, so it is 2024. This is the first fight card of the year. Now is when promotions are starting to put out their cards and starting to map out the year. What is in store for Game Bread Bare Knuckle MMA for 2024?
We're gonna have about 8 to 9 more shows, and we're gonna have 2 more champions crowned. We're still working on the weight, seeing which ones will make the most. It's in between 145, 135, 170, 185. We're gonna pick 2 weight classes where we'll have 2 more crown champions this year, and we'll be making an international splash. We're not sure yet if it'll be England or maybe somewhere in the Middle East, but we'll be going somewhere international this year.
And what about you? We're hearing some rumors that maybe you're thinking about coming back. What's going on?
Definitely, I'm coming back this year, do some boxing matches, straight boxing, and just fucking go out there and have fun, man. Get myself in the best shape possible, and just fucking throw down, man, and show respect to the sport of boxing. Not like a lot of these like celebrities from other sports and fucking influencers have been doing. You know, you got to show respect to the sport of boxing. You got to get in shape. Number one. 2, you got to know how to throw a punch and how to fucking slip a punch. You know, and a lot of these guys haven't been doing that. So I feel like, man, I'm gonna go and take advantage of these motherfuckers that ain't respecting boxing and getting in the type of shape that you should be to get in that fucking ring. You know, it's a sweet science, and it's one of these sports that I love. You know, it was the first sport that I fell in love with. I discovered boxing when I was like around 7, 8 years old, and then maybe like 4 or 5 years later, when I'm 11, I discovered MMA. So I just fell in love with it, and I did MMA professionally for 20 years, amateur for like 3, 4, or 5 years. I don't even remember now. And I loved it, you know. But boxing's always been like my first love, my first passion. And out of all the arts, it's the one that I took most to, you know. So I knew how to submit people and stuff, but in my mind, I wouldn't visualize myself ever like choking people out as I would knocking them dead or just beating them to a fucking bloody pulp. So boxing for me is always been number one and stuck out. So I definitely wanna end my career with some big fucking fights, the massivest fights that I could possibly get my hands on in boxing. That's where we're going.
All right, so last week we saw you at Power Slap, interesting
Yeah.
in Vegas, hanging out with Sean Strickland. How was that experience like?
Oh, I've met Sean before a couple times. Fucking huge fan of the dude. He's great friends with Johnny Eblin. He's come over to American Top Team many times to help Johnny get ready for his fights and vice versa. Johnny goes to Vegas to get Strickland ready for the fights, and they put on some of the best sparring matches too that I've ever seen in my life as a fucking fan, as anything, you know. So I'm just fucking static to see these guys like training. I like Sean, how he thinks, how he rolls, how he talks, man. Politically, we align up very well. And we're both kind of like, don't fuck with me and I won't fuck with you type of guys, you know. So we get along very, very well. He doesn't take no shit from nobody. Neither do I. So it's a great experience. Cowboy was there with us too, which is another cool ass motherfucker that I get along with. Shout out to Cowboy, always doing his thing, you know. So it was a good time, man.
Colby Covington, your boy, lost to Leon Edwards. He's saying that, the judges were biased against him. He broke his foot. What are your thoughts on the whole Colby Covington, Leon Edwards fight?
Man, for starters, I never met such a fucking hoe in my life, such a bitch, you know. He's doing all this fake because he doesn't know anything about politics. He literally doesn't. He just attached his name to Trump, hoping that Trump will one day tweet his name or maybe show up to a fight and things like that. But the guy literally knows nothing about politics, knows nothing about immigration laws, knows nothing about fucking 401ks, about foreign policies, domestic policies, knows nothing. All this guy fucking does is throw his money away fucking gambling on poker and paying for prostitutes to be in his fucking video, you know? So for him to go out there and involve Trump's name so much and then say, well, the judges don't like me because I roll with Trump and they rob me because of Trump because Trump gets a bad. Like, you're a fucking piece of shit. Now you're blaming the fucking greatest president this country has ever seen. You're blaming your fucking shitty ass laws, which you didn't do a damn thing. And everybody says, even your mom fucking says you're a fucking bum. You're going to blame that on Trump because you're such a fucking bum? You're a piece of shit. It just shows who he is. And of course, now he has a broken foot. And of course, now he has a broken arm. The guy's a fucking cheating, lying piece of shit, cop calling motherfucker. And I can't wait to see his ass.
All right, so March 2nd, Orlando, Florida, Game Bare Knuckle MMA, live for free on YouTube, Kia Center, Orlando. Give me a final message to the fans who are looking to come in and watch you guys.
Man, if you're trying to come in there and watch it live, don't worry about no theme park, about no dinner, nothing, because this is the greatest fucking night of combat that you're gonna fucking see for a very long time. We got fucking evenly matched killers on both sides of the card, no gloves, and to top it all off, we got the first heavyweight championship. Junior Dos Santos, two-time heavyweight champion, versus Fabricio Verdum, another two-time. Alan Belcher, another fucking great fighter. It's fucking done tremendous things in the sport. I think 8 or 9 in bare knuckle boxing. 1 win in MMA. The guy could do it all. These guys are gonna fucking throw down. But more than just that, the whole card from top to bottom. Like if you're in the Orlando, Tampa area, you just gotta pull up and check this out live. Smell all that iron and blood in the air, because it's a different thing when you're at an MMA event. And if you can't make it live, make sure you tune in on YouTube, March 2nd, free as can be. You don't gotta pay nothing. I don't need no credit card, no subscription. Just go out there and check it out. And the reason we do this is because we're just trying to spread the word. I know that every one fucking person that watches one show live instantly becomes a fan for life, because it's a different thing, my brother. And once that bug bites, that's it. You're stuck with the disease.